Get started just with just intros first, and that way when everybody is jumping on, we'll still have plenty of time. But I want to get through our full panelist here. So first off, welcome everybody again. Really appreciate you all taking the time to join us tonight. Our goal is to answer your questions, to get you as much information as possible, both about the Alliance Fast Pitch and all of our leagues. So I'm going to start and just quickly introduce our Alliance staff, as well as a few of our partners who have joined us tonight. And then I'll toss over to our commissioners to give intros. But I'm Jamie Loprice. I'm the CEO of the Alliance Fast Pitch. From our team, also, we have Shannon Harvey, who helps with a lot of our business operations, specifically with registrations. So if you have any questions about the Alliance membership and registration, Shannon will be your person. We also have David Mccorkle, who runs our National League operations. He's going to talk later on about all of our national events, national championships. He works daily, basically, with all of our leagues. And then excited tonight to have Sam Ladisky. I hope I pronounced that correctly with your nice Alliance hat there, from Under Armour. You guys just threw all the names at me. John Puglisi from NCSA, and Andrew Beal from Athletes Go Live. So you'll hear from each of them as well. Adam, do you want to go ahead and introduce your team?
Yeah, hi. So Adam Dorman, I'm the commissioner of the NEFL, Northeast League. With me, I have our deputy commissioner, Dave Wheeler, our league administrator, Dave Sharp, and our competition committee chairman, Jim Barcelona from Team New Jersey.
Tom?
Yes, I'm Tom Bunn. I am the commissioner of the ACFL. With me is Ryan Taylor, who's the deputy commissioner of the ACFL and also the commissioner of the HFL. And Sean Gleason, who is our South Carolina director, is with us. And I'm not sure if Susie Williamson is here yet, but she is our director of player development. I knew she had a brief conflict, but she should be here, if not already, very soon.
And my apologies, I did forget one. Sorry, Madison Crownover and Tony Boyd from the city of Chattanooga, who are going to talk to you guys about our Open National Championship as well. So I'm going to go ahead and kick this thing off and get started. Let me share my screen. All right, so here's kind of an overview of what we're going to go through today. Like I said, it's a lot of information. Please feel free to use that chat box, but I'm going to start and give you guys an overview of just what the Alliance Fast Pitch is, how that benefits you guys as members or potential members. Going to talk a lot about our partnerships. We'll have Under Armour, NCSA, and Athletes Go Live. And then we'll dive deeper into your specific leagues, whether you're with the Northeast Fast Pitch League or the Atlantic Coast. And then we're going to close it out with our national championship events. So I wanted to start with this. We get this question often, especially we're only a year and a half in. So what makes us different? How is the Alliance Fast Pitch different? So we're going to talk about that. And then more importantly, how does this affect you? Whether you're a coach, whether you're head of an organization, whether you run events, maybe you're an athlete or just a parent. So we're going to talk specifically about how this affects you. And then ultimately let you guys make the decision. This is embarrassing, 100%. And I just wanted to start off with that. But I haven't done this on any of the town halls, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of context of just where I'm coming from and why I believe so passionate about the Alliance. I was an athlete many years ago. It's like a really pixelated picture and disgusting, but it was in Oklahoma City in the Women's College World Series, and I did catch it. So that part's important. I figured since we're talking about the Northeast, I did coach. I had a real brief stint as a college coach at Monmouth University. And then I've spent the last 7 years actually working in an administrative role or leadership role in youth sports. So coming at this from a very different perspective. And I spent 5 years at USSSA. So I can share that part with you guys as well. So what makes us different in my eyes, coming from that viewpoint and what I think makes us special, you hear a lot of the different associations or organizations. So USA Softball, obviously they're a governing body of the sport. USSSA, a PGF, They would be what we'd refer to as sanctioning bodies. So they're running the tournaments every weekend. They're sanctioning, they're classifying teams. Triple Crown, event company, right? They run mega events. They're probably not running every weekend, but they're running some of the bigger events. And so what the Alliance is really this network of teams. And it was started in 2020, really around this vision of how can we come together as teams to start working together? And how can we combine our resources and do what's best for the athletes and the families? You guys all as coaches, right? You have to answer daily to your families, to the parents. And that's really who we are. We're this national organization of teams. So I've got a lot of logos on here. There's many, many more. I think what's been really cool about this is, you might have somebody that's got 100 teams in their organization. You might have somebody who's got one team, or maybe they have 10 teams. What's great about us is we talk about leveling the playing field. So giving every team the opportunity, the same opportunity to earn their way to national championships. And we'll talk a lot about that through your league play. And then also giving equal access to resources for your teams and organizations. If you only have a couple teams, we're going to help you get those resources. That's really what I spend a lot of my time in. And in fact, that's what we're going to talk about with Under Armour and NCSA. And to me, this is, I showed you those goofy pictures because this is what's important to me, as well as our board, our league leadership, and our staff. And it's really about those core values. And number one is most important. We put the athlete first, right? So long, our game kind of lost sight of that. We talk about giving the game back to the athlete. So I try in every single decision that I make or that we make to put the athlete first and what's best for her, focusing on player development. A key of that is coach development. And then you're going to hear us talk quite a bit about collaboration and cooperation, whether that is amongst our leagues, whether it's amongst the teams, the athletes. We're all competitors on this call. At least I hope we are, right? So we're competing on the field, but can we collaborate off the field? You see that in the major leagues. I won't use Major League Baseball maybe right now, but you look at the NFL, right? They're all working together off the field, but they're competing on the field and still trying to win championships. And hopefully that's who we are. So this is how we organize the Alliance. We have 8 member leagues. Last year, in our first year, we had 6 leagues. We have expanded one in the Northwest. That is actually expanded internationally into a couple provinces in Canada, as well as the Atlantic Coast Fast Pitch League. So some of the states were a little bit divided last year, whether you guys were part of the HFL or maybe the NEFL. But we thought it was important to go ahead and make the ACFL its own league so that you guys can speak specific to that part of the country and have representation on that league leadership. So these are the 8 leagues. What's great about this is it allows the athletes, the teams to compete locally. You're going to accumulate points. We'll talk a lot about that. But it's really, looking at this thing regionally and then pathways to national championships. We're going to talk a lot about, again, what makes us different. And I want to hammer home this idea of membership. So when you join the Alliance, when you join the NEFL, when you join the Atlantic Coast League, you're becoming a member. You're becoming a member, which to me means equal access. You're getting access to resources. You're part of a community, a network. We'll talk about that. And in our membership, it gives the ability for recognition, whether it's recognition for individual players on a level playing field, or recognition for teams. And then also for us, it means qualification opportunities. We'll dive deeper in this. I just want to give a high level overview of how it works. So it all starts at the coach. The coach is going to go on and she or he is going to register for the Alliance Fast Pitch. Once he or she registers for the Alliance, then they're going to create a team and register for one of your leagues. So going back, if you're in South Carolina, North Carolina, or Virginia, you're going to register your team for the ACFL. If you're in one of our New England states up here, then you're going to register for the NEFL. Once the coach registers, creates the team, then that coach is going to invite all of his or her athletes and the remaining coaches on the roster, and you're going to invite them to become members of the Alliance Fast Pitch. So what the heck does that all mean, and what does it cost? I know that's an important conversation. So a coach membership for us, it's an annual fee. It's $50 plus the $10 background check. An athlete membership for our high school age athletes is $50 for the year. For 10U and 12U, it's $35. And for teams, it's $200 or $100 for the juniors. So what does that get you, right? Well, it gets you a heck of a lot more than just the ability to play in a tournament. And that's what I want to spend time on, of what does that membership cover? There's a lot of false narratives out there that, it's just insurance. It's not. It's way more than that. That is a very, very small piece of that. But a membership, like I said, it's about access to resources. It's about community. It's about the ability for that recognition, and so many more things, as well as qualification, teams, and points that we'll get into. So for this fee, this is everything that you get. And we're continuing to add to this through all of our partners. And I want to highlight a few of those. So when we think membership, let me go back. It's really about what is going to help these athletes and these coaches on their journey in travel ball. So we've gone out and we spend a lot of time working with different partners, vetting different resources to find out how can we help our coaches? What resources do they need at the youth level? What resources do athletes need? And so we've already identified several, and then we're continuing to add. So one of them, we all have to throw, right? And we all have to teach throwing. So we went out, and I don't know if you guys have worked with high level throwing and Austin Wasserman. I'm a huge fan. And the way that he breaks it down, anywhere from 6-year-old athletes, he's working with college athletes, he's working with pro athletes. Haley McClenny is one of his clients. So we have a partnership with Austin. All Alliance members receive, this is an example down here. All Alliance members, when you pay that $50 for the year, everybody gets access to this free throwing warm-up program. You also get exclusive discounts for the remote training, and then exclusive discounts on the on throwing. We've done some really fun things around this partnership, including a national Throw Like a Girl Day, which was really fun to have all these athletes submit videos. But we did a 4-part webinar series where he was breaking down 4 foundational elements of throwing. This is an example of the Famer app. So when you become a member, you get access to the Famer app. It is a separate app. You go in, you input your phone number that you use to register for the Alliance, and now you get weekly workouts that are pushed to your phone. We have a coach channel, so it's workouts specifically created for coaches. And then we also have athlete channels that are segmented by age division, 10U, 12U, 14U, 16U, 18U. So I want to show just a quick example of one of these. This is actually a workout that just went. This is my phone. This is the Famer app right here. Let me just give you a quick little demo. So this is an example of all the different workouts. And then you have a coach who comes on and talks about it.
Hi, I'm Christy Bell, and this is the 5-10-5 drill. This is a really important drill in softball because it's going to help with change of direction and acceleration.
This week, we were talking specific about slapping, and had a coach from Prolific, Ray Vaughn, talking about slapping.
So I would convert a kid as soon as you understand that they are a good enough athlete to function on that side of the plate long term. I think what happens is a lot of times when girls are struggling on the right side, coaches will convert them to let them have some success, which I understand. But if the kid doesn't have the long-term speed, you still have to keep in mind, first and foremost, you have to be a speed player in order to be a really high-level slapper.
Just a quick example. Like I said, those are sent out weekly. So we've got everything. This is a good example right here. This is actually, we did some stuff over the holidays of just position specific work. You've got Megan Gibson, actually a college teammate of mine. We've got Texas Blaze doing a team drill. Mel Roth, who is a professional player, played at University of Louisville. So we went out and we filmed a ton of content amongst coaches and players. And like I said, this is included in your membership. So every single week you're getting access to tips, drills, strategy. I mean, we even have coaches breaking down first and thirds and how do you teach first and thirds or different things. Recruiting, and I'm going to hit briefly on this because we've got John here from NCSA who will go much deeper into that, but obviously a very important part of your journey. So NCSA is our official recruiting partner. We do work with College Bound Jocks, specifically in recruiting videos, and Alliance members get a discount for that. Visual Edge, I know we've got a ton of technology and things out there. I feel like if you can't see the ball, you can't hit the ball. Visual Edge is a company that every single Alliance member gets a free at-home vision test. You take it right there on your computer. So every member is sent a pair of these glasses. You can take the eval right there on your computer. It's going to give you an edge score, and we've already begun testing youth athletes. We tested our Alliance All-Star athletes. I know they just signed the University of Florida, Missouri, Syracuse, and a few other colleges, and are testing those athletes. And then we also tested some Olympians too. So it's kind of fun to see just on that edge score of where your athletes are comparing to some of the best in the game. You're also going to get access, if you want to take it a step further, because you can actually work on your vision, then you get access to vision training as well. I just want to hit real quick. So not only do you get access to this, we try to do fun, different engagements throughout the year and keep everybody connected. You know, oftentimes and I know most people, you just want to go play in a tournament and then you're done. You go home and continue on with life. But if you want to be part of this network and this community, we're nonstop trying to send you newsletters, host webinars, bring people together, and just continue to educate and collaborate. So here's a few examples of some different things that we've done. I really enjoyed this one after Athletes Unlimited, having some of the pro players come back and talk to our college players. And then obviously you see a lot of stuff on recruiting there. This is a competition that we did with Hit Tracks, where they actually sent these units to facilities, and we partnered up as leagues. So we had individuals that represented their leagues. We created a bracket out of it, just had a lot of fun off the field through training. There was education that was supplied through this, through Hit Tracks. And then we recognized our individual athletes as well. We worked with Blast Motion on a national hitting competition, and we did a pilot program with Visual Edge, just with getting some kids training and tested. We also, this is only one example, but we do a lot for coaches as well. This is an example. We hosted a coach week in the fall, and we utilized some of our different partners to activate on different days, including a Friday Night Lights panel. We're in the process of outlining what the spring is going to look like, but once a month, we're going to get together and just talk about specific topics. But the idea there is you guys as youth coaches to just come together. And here's another fun way. This is kind of the growth area of where we're going, but just the ability to not only test our athletes, but you can see what On Deck is doing here, just the ability to start comparing athletes too, whether we're comparing them through different regions, different age divisions, but this is kind of the vision of where we want to go. And the cool thing about us, separated by our 8 member leagues. All right, I'm going to turn over to Sam first to talk about Under Armour. This was a huge deal for us, not just the Alliance. I think this was a huge deal for the sport of softball to get a brand like Under Armour into our game and to do what they did for female athletes. If you guys see this, this is a recovery zone where we had Normatec boots and foam rollers at our national championship. This was free for the athletes. I don't know if you guys have ever competed in 100 degrees in Oklahoma City, but it's hot, and having a tent and a recovery zone to go to was incredible. This was a really cool wall that they put up for all the athletes to sign, and we had a large interactive bracket. And I think this is cool. Women's History Month this month, and some things that Under Armour is doing around coaching female athletes. And our members have access to that through our partnership. So Sam, I will shut up and toss it over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfect. Well, thanks again. And thanks for everyone for taking time out of their busy evenings. Unfortunately, I don't have any personal embarrassing pictures of myself from my college ball days, but I'm sure they exist. So hopefully none of you guys find them out there. But as Jamie said, my name is Sam Ladisky, and I oversee our entire Diamond Sport Club business across the country. I'm based out of Baltimore, Maryland, just down the street from our corporate global headquarters. I've been a member of the sales team for just over 3 years, and it's really my goal to bring the best gear and experience to organizations such as the ones on the call here in the sport of softball. More specifically, for this evening, my goal is to share the exclusive Under Armour benefits that you guys have access to as a member of the Alliance. So just to kind of back up and paint the picture a little bit better, Under Armour started that 5-year partnership with the Alliance as an official uniform, footwear, and apparel provider. It kicked off last July. The reasoning behind it we thought was really simple. It's a shared set of values and goals to provide the best experience for the female athlete. Provide the resources that they need to disrupt the stagnant nature we saw kind of out there in the travel space. So With that partnership, we've been extremely fortunate to outfit Team Alliance as they played Team USA before the Olympics last summer, as well as the All-Stars that Jamie mentioned you guys see on the screen here. So if you guys have the chance, definitely go check out that Alliance Instagram page, which kind of demonstrates how UA provided those 45 athletes with head-to-toe industry-leading product for both on and off the field. We also had a live interactive bracket, signing wall, all those things that Jamie just mentioned, giveaways. So I had a blast. It was very, very hot, but it was a good time. And from what I heard, the athletes had a blast as well. So that was the most important thing. Like I said, go check it out if you have a chance, and keep your ear open. I know Jamie will be sharing a lot, but we have more execution on activation coming up for this summer across multiple events as well. So we're excited to keep that going. One other important thing to mention here is Under Armour is also investing in the sport at the highest level from an athlete perspective. Just last year, we signed multi-year sponsorship agreements with Rachel Garcia and Odyssey Alexander, who I'm sure everyone on this call has at least heard of or is very familiar with. But we're excited to have those two athletes kind of champion our continued investment from the top level. Anyways, back to why I'm here. So I'm on this call to inform and remind everyone that as a part of this partnership, y'all receive benefits through UA and our service provider, BSN Sports. These benefits include head-to-toe curated softball assortments specific to your needs, custom agreements molded to your individual buying cycles as an organization, and player packs. We don't really want to fit a square peg in a round hole. We want you guys to be comfortable having a first handshake with the brand and what you guys are already doing. So we want to fit the mold of what you guys are doing versus the other way around. So keep that in mind for us. That's also going to include team discounts, free coaches gear. There's year one signing bonuses. We're eligible. Online stores through BSN, which is going to create a revenue stream, as well as their additional rewards on all equipment, buckets, nets, you name those things. It's a one-stop shop for everything. Another thing to mention here is connection to our product teams through focus groups and wear testing. Mentioned on here is an opportunity for free national team uniforms. So think about that gold or showcase national team that you're going to be having all at the major events. We want to put a free set of uniforms on them because we know at the end of the day, the 12U girls in that same organization are going to want to play and look like those girls in the future. So we want to see that as the halo effect within your own organization and help you guys tell that story. Official designation is powered by Under Armour. Again, just trying to elevate your guys' brand as you guys are marketing yourselves out there in the space, being connected to our brands for your coaches, your athletes, and your parents. And then access to exclusive activation stations at future AFCS and other Alliance events. So that's kind of everything you see here on the slide, but I really want to emphasize how important it is to know that Under Armour is making a product that is specifically geared for the female athlete. We don't believe in the shrink it and pink it mentality. We intentionally design products meant for her. Perfect example is the glide cleat that you guys can kind of see on the screen that the All-Stars are wearing during the game. It was also featured in the speed challenge down there at AFCS. These weren't simply sized down baseball cleats like other brands do. They were intentionally engineered for the female athlete's foot. We take that same approach to our uniforms, specifically in pants. I wish I could tell you guys all the great things I know coming out in 2023. Get in trouble if I do that. So Jamie, you can keep me honest here. I won't do it and you back me up on that. But we have a lot of great things coming out just from a fabric perspective for lightweight travel ball uniforms, as well as a sublimated pant coming out. So again, we're all that to say Under Armour is making waves in the space, and we definitely want to find some partners to join up and do it with us. So as you can see, there's really a ton of great benefits here to help elevate your organization through a partnership with Under Armour through the Alliance. Jamie, I'm going to have my contact information shared out with everybody on the call here. So please, as anyone hears me here, don't hesitate to reach out as we gear up for the summer and next fall. But Jamie, that's kind of all I had. So thanks again, and I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Love it. And as Sam mentioned, that's why I think it's great for our sport with the signing of Rachel and Odyssey and what they're putting into the sport. I had this at the end, but I want to bring this up right after Under Armour. What they did for our athletes last year, you guys, at the All-Star game was first class. These athletes got just royal treatment where they all walked in their invite-only shirts. They walked into a locker room and had no idea. If you get a chance, check out the video on YouTube, but they got outfitted. This entire bag was sports bras and tanks and t-shirts and shoes. It was incredible. And to me, that's what female athletes deserve, just like their counterparts. So we're going to do it all again. In fact, our watch list is out for every league. So if you go to our all-star watch list, we've got the athletes from the ACFL, from the NEFL. Later this month, we're going to announce our league all-star teams. And then come towards the end of May, we will announce the second annual Alliance All-Star class, which is going to be a lot of fun. Last year, the game was on ESPNU. You can see Montana Fouts here, Jada Coleman, Jocelyn Allo, Aaliyah Andrews. We had Kaylani Ricketts, Hannah Flippin. It was a ton of fun. And we plan to do that again and get the college athletes back out there with our games. But a huge benefit having Under Armour there for that. Sam, I did include your email, but if you want to toss it in, if anybody is interested, this is one of those resources that is available for you as an Alliance team. John, I'm going to hand it over to you for NCSA.
Right on. Thanks, Jamie. Much like what Sam and Jamie has outlined, but what Sam outlined with Under Armour is the reason we're so excited to be the official recruiting partner of the Alliance, is because we share the desire to put the athlete first and really just to provide the best tools and resources used in the recruiting process to Alliance student athletes, and to their coaches who are there to support them and be a part of their journey. NCSA's platform, and I'm talking strictly about student athletes here, is a student athlete driven platform, meaning that 22 years ago when it was designed and it was built, it was about what athletes are able to do to assist themselves and to help themselves in the recruiting process. That means that they don't only get a recruiting profile that's at the standard for what college coaches want to see in a profile or in your digital recruiting resume, but they also have access to college search tools, access to the largest library and live recruiting classes in the world. And I think that is the separator when it comes to why I think the Alliance was so excited to partner with us is NCSA truly believes in recruiting education and providing education to your families, to the parents, to your student athletes, and to coaches. Every member at NCSA, and we have a team of over 900 employees at NCSA. Every member of our family is a former high-level player, former high-level coach, who played, in college or played professionally, has coached in college, coached professionally. We understand the ins and outs of the recruiting process. So as a student athlete driven platform, we are here to be an assistant to you as a coach so that your athletes are doing the work on their end while you're able to support them in the process. I think the best adage in recruiting is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. The reality is that your kids and your student athletes who want to play in college, they're going to have to put in some work into the process, some more than others. But Jamie's, what she brought up at the beginning was it's about equaling the playing field for all. So if you are on a team and you're a student athlete on a team where you're the only athlete that wants to play in college, or you're a team that's chock full of athletes who are going to play in college, this is your access point as a student athlete. Now, Team Edition is a platform that I specifically work on and that I'm most dedicated to within NCSA space. So as a coach or of a single team or multiple teams or a leader of an organization, Team Edition is your resource. So Team Edition is designed for coaches, whether you have one team, 10 teams, or 100, and we work with some of the largest softball organizations in the country. You'll be able to see which colleges are viewing and following your athletes' profiles, because every one of your athletes will have a recruiting resume that they build and that you assist them with. You'll see who is opening the emails that your student athletes are sending out, how much your athletes are doing in the process so that you're actually tracking how much effort your own athletes are putting in. You have access to a national directory of every college program in the country. So coaching staffs, phone numbers, emails, and you can share recruiting resources with your families and athletes. And that goes again back to the education, but this is something that is involved in your Team Edition account. So, it covers everything from what an athlete should write in email to how to set up a visit, an unofficial visit at a school or an official visit at a school, to what the FAFSA is and how to fill it out. These are videos or articles that you can send to your families that are built into your resource as a team or as a coach in Team Edition. I'm really thankful for our partnership with the Alliance, because it's opened up the doors for so many teams that didn't know that their athletes had the ability to get recruited, that their athletes had the ability to play at the next level. And then a lot of organizations that were able to take recruiting to another level with Team Edition and with NCSA's resources. The best part about all of it is we have a free solution for student athletes and for coaches. To take it a step further, we also have a more advanced premium option of our platform on the team side. And you can't find this anywhere else in any sport. Alliance is our only partner that has access to this. And that's a 50% discount off of our team recruiting solution, which means that every athlete within your team receives a premium NCSA profile through your team platform. I'm happy to get it.
That only Alliance members get this discount. Is that right?
This is an Alliance specific only discount that's not available anywhere else in any other sport or with any other partner. And that was really important to the Alliance and to Jamie. And it's also really important to us because that allows us to even the playing field across recruiting for everybody. And so, we are really excited about what the future of this partnership looks like. Last year was a huge year. We onboarded some of the biggest organizations in the country, and also single teams in areas of the country that aren't heavily recruited and who just joined the Alliance and didn't know what to do or what to do before events. And so we're really thankful. We're excited about the future. I've got some information that I'll throw. I think I can throw it in the chat here, Jamie, with a form that you can fill out if you're a coach. But there's my email. Send me an email, and I'm willing to work through this with you so you really can understand the benefits of just being a part of the process, which is what Team Edition allows you to do for free. And we're really, again, blessed to be here. And thanks so much, Jamie.
Awesome. Thank you, John. Again, another fun partner to work with. And I'm going to toss over now to Andrew, who is not only the CEO of Athletes Go Live, but Andrew is also has coached in the Alliance and completely understands the process. A dad of softball daughters. He understands our sport. And before I toss it over, I think it's important to talk about Athletes Go Live and why they've been great for us. They are our official live scoring and live streaming. What you're going to see is how the two companies have worked together. And we both have truly partnered together, and AGL is the only one that's really been willing to work with us and to kind of steer their roadmap to fit ours. And so you're going to see everything from integrations, what it's done with our point system, our player stats, and so many things. So very grateful for just their willingness to work and grow with us and to put softball first. So with that, Andrew, all yours.
Thank you, Jamie.
Stop share.
All right, Jamie, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to speak. At Athletes Go Live, I think, the first thing we wanted to talk about is, why it's so important to score and stream with AGL. We've spent a lot of time with Alliance IT folks and our folks in building a real custom integration between the two companies, between the two softwares, where when games are played, all that data is now being automatically automated through an API back to the Alliance for their standings, for their points, for the leaderboards, and also for the stats that they'll be showing coming in 2022. So we're really excited about some of the integration that we've done. We've also recently launched some integration with them as it relates to allowing athletes and fans to submit their best video clips directly to the Alliance within the app, which I'll show you as well. But obviously all the player recognition, top plays, highlight reels, all that is coming now, kind of with some automation between the two companies. For anybody on the call that's not familiar with what we do, we are a full-blown live scoring, live streaming platform. We do have the ability to maintain all your team and player stats. For those of you who haven't used us in a while, we've made significant upgrades and advances. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with some of the new feature functionality that we've recently launched. We do have our own custom camera. You can score and stream with any Apple or Android device for free. We do have our own custom camera that teams can get. We do have an option where they can get that camera for free. but the camera is about $450 on our website. The advantage of using our camera is really simple. When we were in beta for a year and a half, the biggest thing we realized is in the summertime, cell phones overheat and nobody really wants to put their cell phone on the fence for, the entire day. So it is a military grade device. It's waterproof, dustproof. It has an operating temperature of 150 degrees. And our new version camera is certified with Verizon
Neither's gotta go. Yeah, neither's got.
So it does maintain, like I said, all your team and player stats. If your athletes use our product during their high school seasons, we are official stat provider for Max Preps. We are now also the official live streaming platform for the NFHS network. And all their games from their high school will load to the same exact profile. And they can pull clips and there's no additional cost. Our pricing structure for our passes, we have a basic pass, which is $16.99 a month or $179 a year. A premier option, which is a little bit more expensive, with some additional feature functionality for the athletes. And then obviously we have the team package, which I talked about. Instead of paying $199 a year, it's only $150. So the parents saving money and the team gets a free camera. So that's probably our most predominant option that we're running. This is something we really want to push for every single team. We have an official certified scorekeeper program. So whoever's doing the scoring and streaming for your teams, they get a free annual subscription from Athletes Go Live for being the official scorekeeper streaming person for your teams. So we have a simple process. They can register on our website. We'll send this out to all the folks, but they get a free subscription. They also get some other additional feature functionality for being the official scorekeeper. This is some cool functionality that we have within the app where athletes can go back into their game footage. They can pull clips, they can save their clips into their video clip folder, and they can share these clips on social media, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It is a mobile app based. You can do it from a computer, but we built it on a mobile app for the athletes because we know that this is what they use, is the mobile solutions. But the athletes do have the ability now, if they're an Alliance team, the Alliance logo will be there and they can actually share their clips directly to the Alliance for, player highlights, player spotlights, top plays of a tournament, top plays of the week, all that kind of stuff. So that kind of stuff is now automated to send that directly to the Alliance. And fans and athletes have that functionality. Within our app, we do have the ability for the athletes to send the college coaches clips directly through the app as well. So they can share their clips directly with the college coaches. I know we are working with some integration right now with NCSA on kind of giving the athletes some functionality to be able to integrate some of the functionality within AGL and the games and videos within your NCSA profile. So we are working with them as well on that. One of the cool things that our product does is it tracks college coaches from the live games and the archive games. So anytime a college coach watches one of your live games or watches one of your archive games, the athlete gets an in-app notification, the parent gets an email, and the coach also gets a notification and has the ability to pull a report of every college coach watching. We have a pretty neat camp integration as well. College coaches, if they post their camps, athletes get notified of the camp information if they have those schools on their watch list. So it's a pretty cool kind of camp integration. Leaderboards, every single Alliance event, there is a stat leaderboard. So if you are not scoring from your games, you're not going to end up on those leaderboards. This is where they're going to be doing player picture of the tournament, all tournament teams, obviously their player of the week, player of the month, all those kind of things come from these stats. And it's really cool. I think it's a great way for teams and athletes to create recognition at these individual events, which is pretty awesome. We do have over 2,700 college coaches that are actively using our product today and registered. As you can see here, we get quite a few that are posting on social media. We made a major overhaul based on feedback we got from the college coaches on feature functionality that they've added. The college coaches that we've showed it to have been pretty blown away at some of the functionality we've given them. Pictures like this with Hutch sitting in her hot tub, watching AGL on her laptop. We do have all video tutorials. I do have 2 folks from my team on here. They're here to help get your teams registered, get you any kind of information you need for your parents to know how to set up their accounts, email clips, post clips to social media, all that stuff. So we're here to help and support the Alliance in any way we can. And we really appreciate and value this partnership. So.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. And I want to elaborate a little bit more by giving everybody a visual here of why it's so important. I want to use an example. This is the Stars national team. And the only way this works, honestly, is with the automation, is with scoring on AGL. It's the only platform with us where we have the ability to take game finishes from any event, whether it's U-Trip, USA, Triple Crown, an unsanctioned event. We can take any of those scores. We use the ELO rating system, ELO. You guys can look it up. It's used across multiple professional sports and racing, but it's actually an algorithm that spits out this team rating. And it's all based on your opponents, who you play, your strength of schedule. And so it's constantly live. And that's why it's so important to score, so that we have these live team ratings that then filters into your league rank. So any place on our website where you go up here and you click teams, when you actually click on that team, it takes you to this particular profile. So it'll give you the record and the rank. It'll also give you all the team's most recent games. So you can see the opponent, you can see the score, and you can see then how that actually affected that team's rating. And so at the end of the year, we will use this. I see that Derek Allister's on here, who oversees our seating committee, and Mccorkle will talk a little bit about that, but we will use these rankings to help with our seatings as well. And then this, obviously, I want to make sure that ACFL was shown on here as well, but same thing, when you click on a team, it's going to have their record, their rank, and also their roster as well. And if you do have an NCSA team account, then your NCSA roster will show up on this drop-down list as well. We'll toss over to Tom to speak specifically about the Atlantic Coast.
Nope. Thank you, Tom. All you.
All right. Thank you, Adam. And I won't repeat all the great points that Adam made, but I can give you some personal experience that I had as being part of the Alliance this past year, and just how top quality everything is that they put on. The Under Armour All-Star game was absolutely amazing. We were fortunate enough to have one of our pitchers be part of it. And she has had it. It was one of those forever memories, and you get to play. Well, in this case, they got to play in the stadium at Oklahoma City against the other best seniors in the country on ESPN. It was just unreal. And everything that Under Armour did to support it was also top quality, top notch, and you just couldn't beat it. And to that end, the teams that we played in the competition out there, when you see all the best teams, or many of the best teams in the country, from California and Texas and the East Coast and Southeast and whatever, and it was just the best competition I've ever been part of, and I've done through the years, I've done every national championship tournament, at one point or another. And this was just the best,
I don't know, Tom, you struck us out like 26 times in 2 days.
We had good pitchers. We still have one of them. But anyhow, Emma, don't feel bad. Emma had 16 Ks in her college debut too.
Oh, I've been watching. It makes me feel better.
And I'm also really excited. Adam brought up this point too about the Alliance Open Nationals as well as another option for teams. Like it's amazing to go to the AFCS, but I know some teams, either for travel purposes or whatever purpose, whatever reason they have, the Open National gives you an opportunity to meet the needs of your team if that's what best suits your team. And I'm really excited about that. And we have teams within our organization going to that event as well. So we see the value in everything that the Alliance is doing, and we're supporting them at all different age groups and in both the AFCS and the Open Nationals. We currently, here, looking at the next slide, we currently have 27 registered teams. We are really new. The Atlantic Coast Fast Pitch League was kind of spun off from the HFL that this fall. And I know in talking to people in the region that they're really excited about us having our own league that represents Virginia and the Carolinas. And the longer we have to get all the teams from these states involved, I know it's going to be we're going to have success getting people to join. And it's just, I think this fall, it was just getting the word out in a timely manner. So it's going to continue to grow. Part of the leadership group includes not just myself, but Ryan Taylor, who is the deputy commissioner of the ACFL and the commissioner of the HFL. And then we have Sean Gleason, who's our South Carolina director, and Susie Williamson, who is our director of player development. It's I'm really excited about all the great things that these people bring to the table and how we can make the league better. And again, to go back to the player recognition, this is really exciting. And I could tell you, as a coach of some of these kids that were recognized, they really do appreciate it. And it's a really high point of what the Alliance does. And the player of the month, and we vote, we get the stats from the AGL games, and as a group we choose the players that we think are most deserving in the different age groups. One for the older kids and one for the juniors. And additionally, we have the fall spotlight that we did, and just other ways of recognizing players. And the Super Cup had an all tournament team. There's just like so many different chances for kids to perform well and get their performance recognized on a national platform like the Alliance. It's really exciting, and I could tell you from the kids really love it. And it's just an added bonus. And we do have several teams qualified, particularly in the older age groups. We have 5 berths in each age group, and 4 in 16U and 18U have already been awarded, because we have our high school season that, depending on which of the 3 states you're in, I think South Carolina might start first, but that school ball starts in February. And so it's really hard to get the 18U and 16Us qualified in the spring or in a timely manner. So we did have, for those age groups, we try to have a lot of our berths qualified either in the fall or really early before school ball starts. And so those berths have been, 4 of the 5 have been earned. And the 14U, we have 2 teams that have earned their berth. And you'll notice that those 2 numbers don't add up to 5. The reason is one of those 14U teams earned their berth at the Super Cup down in Clearwater. So there's other ways in addition to just the ACFL qualifiers to earn your berth. And so these are the 2 14U teams that have earned their berth: the Williamsburg Stars and Virginia Glory. And then there's the 16s. And then finally, the 18s. We're really happy with the quality of teams that we've had playing. We're just trying to, get the word out there so we have more of these types of teams and organizations participating. We also are trying to work with more and more event organizers. Come the fall, and we can certainly add additional qualifiers to our schedule this spring and summer, and we are going to have more locations available in the fall. And so if any of you out there, are interested in hosting events or know someone that is, we are more than willing to work with. We are excited to work with other groups that are hosting events. And but these are where the 12s and 14s can earn their berths as of right now. There are some events that I would like to also have a berth be part of those events, but I just need to talk to those tournament directors to see if they can meet the requirements of the Alliance, like from a time limit perspective and the other requirements that the Alliance has. So, all right.
Thanks, Tom. And speaking of those national events, we'll talk specifically about actually, I want to go back really quick on the player of the month. And I think something that's really cool and why it's important you do have to be an alliance member to be recognized as player of the month. And that's really on the backside. So every player of the month from a league level and the alliance is mailed out a package. And in that pack, they've got shirts, they've got swag, they've got gear, but we have to be able to reach those players. So that is why it's really important for all of those players to be registered. So Dave Mccorkle, you are up with national events.
All right. Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate it. Hello, everybody. I'm David McCorkle. If you don't know you, I'm glad to help any way I can. I'm the National Director of Operations for the leagues and the events of the Alliance. Excited to be a part of this. I just started in August. Jamie was there to steal me out of the teaching classroom. And obviously, I bought into this because of the belief of we're all headed in the same direction, try to better the sport. So, I was able to jump in and obviously play in the AFCS last year and, really pay attention to everything that was going on and hear people of what could be better. And as I got involved and we teamed up, it truly is everybody wanting to do what's best for the kids in the sport. So as we started last year's Alliance, we played a format exactly like the College World Series, but we started, go back, Jamie. I'm on you. And this year we're going to be playing the 10U, 12U in Oklahoma City. Last year it was the 16, 18U, and everything will travel east. So this year the 10, 12s in Oklahoma City. Next year that group will be in Indianapolis at Grand Park, and then they'll be in Southern California the following year. This year 14U is in Southern California in the Lake Elsinore area, and then they'll travel east next year to Oklahoma City, and then the next year to Indianapolis, and then this year the 16, 18 is in Indianapolis at Grand Park. Next year they'll be at Southern California, and the year after that will be in Oklahoma City. So it's a 3-year rotation that obviously is something that is best for everybody throughout the country to vary their travel distances and their extent on their kids and families. And so we're excited about the locations and the partnerships we have. We're not an event company. We do partner with USA, Triple Crown, and USSSA to execute those events. And so we try to have a partnership throughout the entire country to all work together to try to do what's best for the sport. Last year's format, like I said, it was exactly like the NCAA. Started with 64 teams, and it played in regionals. And then it went to a super regional where it was best 2 out of 3 with 2 teams, and then went to an Elite 8. This year we've modified a little bit because we noticed and realized that there's more than 64 travel ball teams in the country that deserve a chance at winning a national championship, not just 64. So we expanded to 96. It's still in a regional, super regional, and Elite 8 format. The regional round will now be 16 groups of 6 teams. Played as a double elimination, modified to where the top 2 go to the Tier 1 championship. Again, this entire event you must qualify for. So this is the qualified version of our events. We'll talk about the Open here in a little bit. You must earn a qualified berth through your leagues or through an alliance event like the Super Cup and earn your way here. So the 96 teams, after regionals, the top 2 go to Tier 1 championship. The 3rd and 4th go to Tier 2 championship, and the 5th and 6th go to Tier 3 championship. At this point, the event kind of starts over, and it's just 3 different events. The top 32 teams playing for the Tier 1 championship, the next 32 for the Tier 2, and the next 32 for the Tier 3. So as Joe Brewer said best of the Northwest, is a lot of people who don't travel a lot, and they're not able to really know where they stack up versus the rest of the country. So as they get there and they finish anywhere between 1st and 6th, now they kind of know where they're at. And once the super regional round starts, they can really work on trying to win a national championship, even if it's in Tier 1, 2, or 3. If you look on the left there, that's the regional round example. It does not complete the entire bracket. The winner of the winner's bracket will go in as a 1 seed to the super regional round, and the winner of the loser's bracket will go in as a 2 seed. All these brackets will be seeded by the seeding committee, which will be driven by rankings and obviously results and resumes. So very important to be able to score through Athletes Go Live and make sure that your data is in there, you're getting ranked. And even if you are the lowest ranked team for whatever reason, and you're not the worst team or whatever the case may be, you still have a chance to get in there and be one of the top 2 teams in your bracket to move to the Tier 1 championship. So as you move to the super regional round, we changed it a little bit this year to where it doesn't get to where Tom's team has to play the best team in the country and lose 2 games. And yet he was probably one of the better teams. And it's, Tom's not playing the same team twice within, 2 games. So you still have to probably beat the same team twice, but it's through four games rather than 2. And so we're excited that the top 4 teams in that group will play a double elimination bracket and the winner take all to move to the Elite 8. The super regional round is where teams could get beat out of the tournament and go home. And so everybody makes it to the super regional round, just depends on which tier you play in. And then the winner of each super regional double elimination tournament will make the Elite 8, which is exactly like the College World Series. If you haven't talked to college coaches, and talked to ones that were there, I've been doing this for 20 years and I've never seen a recruited event at that level as I saw last year in Oklahoma City. It was absolutely phenomenal amount of college coaches and excitement of the competition level and the format and how teams had to figure out how to be another team twice within 2 days, and kids had to learn how to adjust and obviously go through all the things that their kids have to go when they get in college. So they're excited that kids are starting to get a taste of this before they even get to college. So we're excited that this year follows that same template. And it's just added a few more teams to where, all you got to do is get into the top 96 and earn a berth, and you got a chance to go see where you stand. So we're excited for that. And we're looking forward to this year's AFCS events.
I'm going to jump in real quick. And before I pass it over to Madison and Tony, with that said, and you guys have already heard it a couple times from both Tom and Adam, but this year we thought it was really important. If only 96 teams can qualify for the AFCS, we want to make sure that all teams that are registered for the Alliance have the caliber of a national championship that we think those athletes deserve. So we went out, we partnered with the city of Chattanooga, a city that's used to hosting national championships. And so for all Alliance registered teams, you have the option to play in the Open Nationals should you not qualify for the AFCS. So with that, I will let Madison talk more specifically about our new Open National.
Thank you. So I am the event director for the Open Nationals, and I just want to start by saying that we love the enthusiasm on this call about Open Nationals. We are really excited about it, so it's cool to hear that you guys are also excited. We are going to be hosting in Chattanooga, and I want to let Tony Boyd, he is our assistant event director, talk a little bit about his experience with the city of Chattanooga and specifically even coaching national championships in the city.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for tuning into this and listening to us, giving us an opportunity. We're very excited about the Open Nationals in Chattanooga, and I have coached and run national events, and that's not unique. Many of you have done some of the same stuff. What is unique that I bring to the table is a 34-year career with the Public Works Department in Chattanooga, where I worked hand in hand with the Parks and Rec Department that run some of the finest softball facilities in the country. They run, these are multi-million-dollar facilities, and they're made possible through multiple mayoral administrations over the years that have proven that Chattanooga has long been and is currently still is today one of the premier cities to host youth softball events. Their commitment to youth sports and specifically youth softball is evidence of this. We're super excited again to host this event. There's a lot to do in Chattanooga, and we've put a team together to make sure that Open Nationals will be something to remember from a softball and a city perspective.
And just to hit on a couple of details, so the pictures here, these are the facilities that we will be using. All of these are within 20 minutes of each other and also 20 minutes from the Chattanooga airport, which does have direct flights for those of you coming from further away. We're also less than 2 hours from Knoxville, Nashville, and Atlanta airports. So, come on down. That's kind of what we're hoping for. This is, again, the no qualification needed. So one of the things that we've really been hitting on is instead of waiting to see if you qualify and then kind of scrambling to make your plans for end of the year, go ahead and register. I've actually put all of my contact information that's listed here, the tournament website and the tournament registration in the chat. Go ahead and register today and get your plans solidified. And then if you do qualify for the championship series, we'll assist you in kind of getting that registration process moved over to that and any entry fee that might have been paid. again, we're really excited to do this, and please use that contact information and let us know if you have any specific questions. I do want to say we currently have about a 60+ team attending list right now. We have 14 and 16U out. We're hoping to get 12 and 18U list out sometime next week. So definitely check that out on the website. There are some really good teams committed already to this Open Nationals.
Thank you, Madison. Dave, back to you with the Super Cup.
All right, and I just had a question about this, so I'm glad that we got here. The Super Cup is something that was established and created last year to try to give just a more year-round attention and competitive play throughout the year, across league. Obviously, it started as kind of a interleague play and playing league versus league, but then it turned into kind of a national situation. And this year, so stage one is played as a 6-team pool. In order to make the Super Cup, you have to qualify by how your results are in the AFCS. So last year, the top 16 teams automatically got an invite, and then the top 5 teams in each league got an invite. So I don't see that changing at all this year. I see that the top 16 will automatically get an invite. And then looking at each league will get 5 berths on top of that. So that gets you to 48 teams that play in the Super Cup across the country. And the stage one is in 3 different stages. It was in West and Central and East. And those are played in 6-team pools. So it's a 5-game round robin, and the top 4 in each pool. And again, all those pools were seeded by the results of the ALCS. And the top 4 of each pool advanced to stage 2. And then stage 2 is played as 4-team brackets, and it's straight up double elimination, and the winner advances to stage 3. Stage 2 in the West have already been played. If you know any coaches out there that played in it, the competition level out there was unmatched compared to what they're ever been experienced. Is usually, they're not playing competitive ball until summer, and now they're playing, they're playing for a spot in the finals, and the competitive level was off the charts. I hear. I wasn't able to get there, but next year I might go there just to see. Stage 2 is in the Central and East is in June, but that gives you a final 8 playing at stage 3, which will be played there in Colorado on the Tuesday, Wednesday for a kind of single elimination, winner takes all. And there's no entry fee to the final stage if you make it there. You'll play on Tuesday, Wednesday there in Colorado. The final 2 teams will play Wednesday afternoon and play on TV for the Alliance Super Cup Championship. So a lot of exciting things going there. It was great this year. A few things that we have heard that need to be changed. So obviously we're looking at changing those things. And that's the biggest thing about Alliance is, we listen to a certain extent, and we try to do what's best for the overall sport, the teams and the kids, to where we can build events that are, a collaboration of many putting together these, and not just, a one company or a one program or a one league. It's a lot of people working together on those things, and it's an exciting thing to be a part of. So hopefully I answered the question that was put on the chat for the Super Cup qualification and to explain it. So if anything else, always be glad to help. I'm the guy that kind of gets the one that either gets answers or gets them for you. So be glad to answer any emails or calls that y'all may have. Feel free to contact me. I'll put my stuff in the chat.
Perfect. As I say, Dave, might be a good idea to put your email there in the chat. And I just want to wrap it up with just kind of bringing this all back. And then I want to open it up for questions as well, or please feel free to put those in the chat. But, I started out with, what is the Alliance? How does this help? How does this help you? How does this help your team? And hopefully we answered a lot of your questions. What I'd say to you guys is this really is about you. It's about, there's been a movement in our sport that we've never seen before. And I gave you those pictures because I've been in the sport for a long time. I've been in the sport at different levels of the game, and nothing like this has ever happened before. And it's truly centered around the athlete. And everything that we do and everything that you're going to see that's coming out is centered around the athlete. We do, at the core of what we do, it's about the membership, and it's about league play leading to national championships. However, it's so much more. You can see what we did last year just by basically our coaches who are all represented calling up their former players saying, hey, do you want an opportunity to go play against Team USA? So we did that. We actually beat them. And then we went and played USSSA Pride. We're going to scale that. We're going to grow that. We think there's a huge opportunity. It might not be like the Cape Cod League in baseball, but these athletes, they need a place to play in the summer. They need a place to train. And so we want to provide that. We have a nonprofit arm that's going to be launching in the next couple of weeks called Alpha. And it's really built by a bunch of former softball players who want to provide more opportunities for softball players. So think more access, more resources. We want to get more girls in the game and keep more girls playing the game. We have expanded internationally. We had an organization, actually we have two now, out of Canada. We've added the Canada Cup, an historically large international event that's part of our schedule. We're actually giving AFCS berths. But bigger than that, we want your voice. Every Wednesday we all meet. So all 8 leagues meet every Wednesday, and it allows input from every part of the country. And to me, that's important, right? Because what happens in Virginia, what happens in South Carolina, what happens in Maryland or Connecticut, it's very different than what goes on in Southern California, right? You guys have different conditions, you have different needs, but most important, you all need a voice. And that's what we're here for. I make sure that every single time that everybody is heard, we have a voice. We're all in this thing together. I think we're all here because we believe in the sport and we want to provide more opportunities for these athletes. So when you ask, why should I be a part of this? Don't just join, but be an active member. We want to hear from you guys, be a part of your league, take on a leadership role, include your events, bring your teams. We want this to be a collaborative effort amongst all teams across the country. And think of what this thing's going to look like. One thing I didn't add was, sorry, and then I'll throw it to you guys. But player stats. Can you imagine we get to the point when you've got the all-time home run leader in the Northeast, or I know Virginia, you're known for your pitchers. So I'll go pitching stats. So when you have the all-time strikeout leaders from the ACFL, that's the direction where this athlete's going to have her travel ball life cycle, her career, her stats that are going to be readily available. So I will get off my soapbox because I get really excited about this and you guys being a part of it. But before we close it out, I want to make sure that the leagues have anything else that you guys would like to say.
I just wanted to emphasize what you talked about, Jamie, at the beginning. Some people like to just show up on the weekends and play. You're really missing out if you do that. The camaraderie and what goes on with the Alliance and the involvement and what you can do for the sport if you join in and really get involved is truly special. And there's so many great minds. And I think sometimes we live in silos, and Jamie does a great job of bringing us all together. And we really appreciate it. And, for me, having the opportunity to be involved in 2 leagues, the one thing I can tell you is that there is plenty of work to go around, right? And we want feedback. And so please, if you want to get involved in a league, do it. Step up. If you're passionate about the game and growing it, there is always an opportunity to be involved. Don't feel like you're not important, because you are.
Anybody else have anything?
Hey,
Well, I
Jamie.
just wanted to thank everybody for the time that they, joining us tonight, and to just, encourage if anyone has any questions, from the ACFL region, just to reach out to me via, I'm really accessible, whether it's by phone, text, or email.
Jim, did you have?
Yeah, Jamie, there's a lot of questions. My phone is blowing up a little bit. Questions and answers. Can we just throw some out? One, of course, is the registrations, the insurance, where it ends and how much it's going to cost. So I think that's something, if you just cover real quick.
Yeah, with insurance. So when we go back and talk about your membership, included within that membership and everything you get, there is USA softball registration and insurance. So it's not a separate fee. It's just a small portion of everything else that's included. So we know, especially at this point, a lot of teams already have team insurance, but it's a membership overall. So there are no extra fees. The only things that will be a little bit different is a 16-18U. If you qualify for nationals, because that is hosted by USSSA, you will have to make sure your team is registered with USSSA. And same thing, 10s and 12s with USA softball. Oh shoot, that's included in our registration.
I think it comes down to, again, it's a $15. It's small, it's minimal. I think it's $15 less that you'll take off for that $50.
Correct.
Is that correct? Yeah. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. And I wanted to just show this again. Everything is included within this, right? So that's the idea of this membership. It is a very small portion. I know, I get it. Everybody gets stuck on that insurance piece. And we hear you. So if there's a situation, absolutely, it's causing problems or barriers, we don't want barriers. Just please reach out to us. And so, because everything is kind of situational with, are they registered with their local commissioner, with the national office? We've been working directly with the national office. So with all that, yes, please reach out to us.
Yeah. And again, let me just say, I think what the athlete membership is amazing. Actually, I think there's too much there. And another point is, I think this is the closest now, and we're talking about to a lot of people the last couple of days, to what the high-end baseball programs offer, perfect game and what have you. Softball's never had this. Girls fast pitch has never had anything quite like what the Alliance is providing right now, which I think a lot of people should be excited about.
You should have emails. So NEFL, please make sure you reach out to Adam or Dave Wheeler. ACFL, reach out to Tom. If you have specific Alliance questions, especially registration, insurance, membership, that would be Shannon on our team, and anything events would be Dave Mccorkle. So thank you again, everybody. Really appreciate it. To the panelists. Number one, I appreciate what you all do just on a daily basis, and your support of each of your leagues and the Alliance. So thank you all. For everybody who joined us and stayed on to this long, thank you guys. We're here to help. We're here to answer questions and want to speak with you. So don't be shy.
Thanks so much.
Call me or email me if anybody needs any help with anything. Appreciate y'all.